Good afternoon, friends. Welcome to Coffee Break. It's another session, it's another afternoon, it's another meaningful discussion with you, and I hope that you join me for this topic communication. How do we really communicate to be intimate? Afternoon, it's another I just need to check my audio. Okay, so I hope that you're going to join me for the rest of the afternoon. For the next few minutes, we're going to have a thorough, let's just say thorough, pwede rin naman mababaw, pero mas magandang palalimin natin, topic about communication. So I was reviewing through the past topics that I've been giving you here at Coffee Break, and I realized it's been a while since I really talk about communication. Wow, parang it was, I think, last year. So I was scanning through, and I believe it's very critical. It's very critical among families to really get to know about their communication. So I'm not going to talk to you about complicated matters about communication. Let's just go to the deep bottom of why we need to really communicate. Bago natin simulan ang ating pag-uusap, please say hi if you are here with me. For the friends who are watching, for those who just share with me what is it that you're looking forward to get to learn here in Coffee Break for this afternoon and on Thursday. So maybe I can, capture some questions that you have right away as springboard for our discussion, and also I can start the ball rolling na tingnan natin what's the relevance of this topic to each of us. So I am assuming that most of you are adults or almost adults if you are here with me. Oh, good afternoon to everyone who's here. Hi, Belle, JP, and Lucille. Ayan, here are our friends here in Coffee Break. So I hope that you can share with me what are you looking forward to this afternoon. So when we say communication, do you have hugot with communication? Do you have meron ka bang mga realizations or meron ka bang pinapaniwalaan regarding communication? Will communication automatically happen in relationships? So yeah, I would like you to start reflecting about those things. So when I was thinking, so what angle of communication? Communication, especially relationship communications in relationship, family communication, it's a very broad topic. You can even talk about media and communication. That's another discipline altogether. But let's focus on communicate to be intimate, 'di ba? When we would like to go deeper in a relationship, we need to communicate, and to get to know each other. When we would like to resolve an issue, a conflict in a relationship, paano natin mariresolve yun? There are things that I've heard along the way. Na, ito, minsan questions whenever I would give parenting or family sessions, or even just some sessions that I do privately. For example, for talks that I do, minsan may magtatanong, Dok, paano po kung ayaw makipag-usap? Paano po namin mariresolve yung problema? Ayaw na akong kausapin. O kaya po, yung asawa ko, sasabihin na lang, ganito na ako, hindi talaga ako mag-open, hindi talaga ako pala salita. Okay, this is supposed to be my ending, but let's start with this. One of the family therapists in the name of Virginia Satir, she said um, there will be no relationship without communication. And communication, it's like the breath, as it's the same with life. Communication is to relationships the same as breathing is to life. So really, technically, communication in relationships, it's actually the breathing, it's actually the life, it's the way to give life in relationships. And I would like to you to reflect about that. That is, communication is to relationship the same way as breathing is with life. So, come to think of it, tama naman. Kasi paano nga naman tayo mabubuhay kung walang communication? Am I making sense, friends? For those of you who are here, what is your belief about communication? If you are to define communication, the value of communication for you, what is it? What is the word or the phrase that you connect with it? So let's just stop. Earlier, I was talking to a friend, and then she said that she was relaying to me a relationship matter that she went through, and this is the quote that I got from what the her partner said. the partner said, hindi aabot sa ganun period if open sa communication. That is really something to think about. Hindi aabot sa ganun. Ang hindi aabot sa ganun point if open sa communication. Come to think of it, really, many relationship issues would be troubleshooted right away if we know how to communicate well. If kaya natin na upuan at tingnan. Well, let's look at the issues that happened. I'm not going to talk about the issue itself. Issues that happened when in terms of communication. So sometimes in relationships, family and loving relationships, we thought that we are already communicating. We thought nag-uusap naman kami eh. Hindi, okay na yan, pinag-usapan na namin. So we have those moments. But come to think of it, sometimes we just realize that even though that there's communication, there's still lack of understanding. Tama? Akala ko naintindihan mo ko. Eh, di ba sometimes we are sharing something to our partners, our family, and then sila, oh yeah, 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 oh yes, oh, 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 oh. And then we realize na akala natin narinig tayo only to find out after maybe a few days or a week, and then we remember what I told you about ano yun, and then hindi pala nagkaintindihan. So sometimes issues happen because there's lack of understanding. We don't really understand. We just listened for the sake of listening, or we just heard. We just heard. So that's the second issue. The first issue is lack of understanding. The second is that not really listening. We maybe our heads are too full with something else. That's why, diba sometimes it's better na we can tell the person speaking with us that, wait, ay hindi ko kayang i-process. Ako sometimes I have a tendency na teka lang, hindi ko kayang i-load lahat sa utak ko right now. So, pwede naman sigurong later on. And lack of understanding, that's one. Another issue is that not really listening. Michelle, hi Michelle, she's saying that good communication is one of the most crucial things in marriage and in any relationship. Actually, yes, it's very crucial. I agree with that. And she said communication can be in words and actions, but must be aligned. You can't say I love you, yet you verbally abuse your partner or ignore her needs. Yes, because it's not really actually communication in words or in action. Mas malalim yung sinasabi mo na mag-I love you ka, and then there's abuse or ignoring their needs. Yeah, there. It means that your communication for the sake of just function, but not really being truly intimate, be really truly understanding and accepting. There's really lack of depth and love if that's the case. So if it's just in words or yung mga mababaw na statements, mababaw na usapan. It just might be that. But that's not the communication that we are after, because we are talking about intimate, loving relationships, especially with family, with marriages, and with maybe boyfriend, girlfriend. And it's very important for us to realize the issue. So one is lack of understanding, the other is not really listening, the third is lack of self-disclosure. This is very important. Kaya babalik tayo dun sa example na, paano Dok kung ayaw naman mag-open up? Pero nung pong mag-asawa kami, nung mag-boyfriend kami, hindi naman siya ganyan, pero nag-asawa kami, ayaw na niyang mag-open. So, alam nyo, when there's lack of self-disclosure, it means that we're not allowing the other person to be part of our world. Diba? There's a song like that. There's a Disney song like that. You have to realize that the lack of self-disclosure, it's an indicator. So for those of you na wala pang wala pa sa relasyon, pag walang if there's lack of self-disclosure, if there's lack of openness, like there's a lot of secrets, parang sabi ko nga, nagiging marites ka na sa buhay ng partner mo. We're not supposed to be chismosa sa buhay ng partner natin. Kasi dapat sa isa't isa natin naririnig. So sa mga kapamilya rin natin, ganon, hindi yung kung sa kapitbahay, dun sa isang tita, dun mo maririnig. No, it's supposed to be with each other. And we don't want to reach a point that you hide secrets from each other, because secrets in loving relationship can be very, very toxic. It can be toxic, really. Kala lang natin, uso lang yung secrets. Lahat naman ng pamilya may secret eh. Yes, secret sa ibang tao, sa labas ng pamilya. Pero among the family, especially kung kayo ang mag-asawa, well, you're supposed to be really disclosing whatever you need to each other. So if there's a lack of this self-disclosure, imagine kung nagliligawan kayo, let's go back to the time, mag boyfriend, girlfriend, in today's term, mag-jowa, and you're not really opening up to each other, there might be a problem because how would you get to know each other? How would you deepen the relationship? How would you know the uniqueness? How would you know the differences that you have if there's lack of self-disclosure, diba? Self-disclosure. Hindi mo we are not mind readers. We cannot just assume that this is what the partner is experiencing, what our partner is having. There is a need for us to really be in the deep end of full self-disclosure. Gusto ko yan. Lucille, what you're asking, what if the other doesn't want to confront certain issues and get offended when you try to communicate? I just don't know how to get through it. Okay, so another issue that happened, it's exactly that. What you're saying, no intent to communicate. They don't want to communicate an issue, they don't want to resolve an issue, so they don't want to communicate. That is going to be very hard. You don't know how to get through it. Um, unti-unti. And maybe you can retract. Kasi sometimes we can be very buyo. I have to use the Tagalog word. Yung we are always at the point of galit already whenever we assert ourselves and we ask, hey, let's talk about this. This is an issue. But we have to realize that it's tricky. I cannot give you a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 solution because there's the context of your relationship, there's the character of the other person. So hindi ko alam kung paano. So it can be your tone, it can also be the manner, it can be the intent of why you would like to communicate, and of course, more importantly, it's the disposition of the other person. So look at that. So no intent to communicate, try and try again, and maybe use, actually, you have to be creative. For me, sometimes let's go first to the issue, another issue. So I know that issue because that's what I would like to move into. But another issue that happened in communications is that we have a sense of competition than communicating. Hindi kailangan ko itong sabihin sa'yo para malaman mo na ako yung tama. There's a sense of competition. And then we have pride, of course, na parang, okay, hindi mo naman sinabi na ako, I found out, or oh, we have a problem here, we need to resolve it, so I think you're at fault. So there's competition among each other kung sinong tama, kung sinong mas nakakaalam, kung sinong mas makakagawa ng solusyon. And of course, there's also blaming in the process. So I would like you to look into that. So given na wala doon, let's look into why do we need to communicate. So first, we need to communicate to better understand the other person. So if the other person don't want to communicate, don't want to confront certain issue, try to go into a deeper understanding why do you think he doesn't want to resolve the issue? Is it because he doesn't love you? Or it's because mabubuking ang insecurities? Or may mga tinatagong secrets na ayaw niya? Sometimes, not not wanting to disclose certain issue or confront certain issues can be tricky, not because of the relationship but because of the self-worth of the person. Kasi minsan mabubuking natin, hala, ang dami pala niyang issue. Kaya pala ayaw niyang i-communicate. Kasi mabubuking na he's just covering it up. Am I making sense, friends? So you have to look into it. Why communicate? Because we would like to better understand. So maybe express that. So I would like us to really talk about this kasi gusto ko mas maintindihan natin ang isa't isa. So the next thing, pangalawa, I would like us to discuss it because I would like to work out our differences. Iba yung way ko, iba yung way mo, iba yung pagkakaintindi ko, iba yung pagkakaintindi mo. Mahalaga naman sa atin to pareho. Pero we need to realize that we need to communicate because this is how good relationships and healthy relationships work. If hindi pa rin, you have to make pondo. You have to check yourself. Why am I communicating? So, and of course, there's the intention. There's the intention of you are communicating because you would like to be closer and you would like to be more intimate. Intimate, not physical intimacy that we think. Pag intimate yung topic, akala natin it's about the physical and the sexual. No, it's about really may depth, may person-to-person connection. And that is the goal of any marriage. Is even in family life, we would like to be intimate with the people that we love. They know about us even without us telling. But in issues, so for why communicate about issues, maybe you can express to your partner sa mga nahihirapan. So try and try again. Yes, JP, try and try again. Will it help to try to pause first and breathe before reacting? Time out. Yes, actually, that's about conflict because communication, you're supposed to communicate during the time that all the emotions are settled. Maybe there was a time that you need to express emotions, but if there's you are at the peak that you tend to be very angry, tend to be very frustrated, and then you it's hard to resolve issues then. So it's important that silent treatment will not work actually. And early years of marriage, I always use silent treatment. Now, 15 years married, bold and brave. Yes, because that's being assertive. Because we're not mind readers. Hindi naman minsan, hindi naman alam ng partner natin kung bakit tayo nagalit. So, pareho din tayo. So, and then, totoo yan, ma'am. Nahuli mo na, ayaw pang umamin. Totoo yan. So, you have to reflect about your why in communication to better understand, to work out the differences, and eventually to be closer, more intimate, and show that you are concerned. Sometimes we come on, especially for strong women like me, we come on as ang taas natin whenever we're communicating. And it is possible, I'll share with you that it's possible that if we come on always too strong, we come out very demanding, we come out as if we have a pride. I don't know if you can relate with what I'm saying, but we need to always express to our partners that I am communicating because I am concerned about us, not because I am right. But I would like us to work things out for good, for the good of our relationship, for the good of this marriage. So that is what I'm offering here. It's not about me proving that I'm right. It's not about me putting the solutions only here or me having this hidden agenda to work on what I want, but it's actually for us to be better, for us to be closer, and for us to be more intimate. Do you think that you can relate with the goal while you're communicating? Because it means so much. It means so much that the main reason you are actually communicating, it's because you would like to resolve issues and you would like the relationship to be better. And I think it has to be that way. Because if we always come out as lagi na lang tayong tama, lagi na lang tayo na hindi parang gusto mo lang na may i-prove na issue, then that's another thing altogether, okay? So, napainom tuloy ako. I hope that you're getting what I'm saying, friends. So next, so those three things, I would like us to look into how do we use communication to increase intimacy? How do we use communication to increase intimacy? One, affirm the good in your partner. Ito minsan mahirap, lalo na ah, kung oh no, this is not about teenagers, Michelle. This is about intimate relationships in general in family, but really it's another thing altogether. So, using communication to increase intimacy, one is affirm the good in your partner. Affirm the good in your partner. You have to check na baka kaya tayo, even as parents ha, even as parents and even as partners, baka kaya ayaw na makipag-usap sa atin because we always have something negative to say to our loved ones. Baka ang naririnig na lang sa atin ay hindi maganda. Lagi na lang tayong may pintas, lagi na lang tayong may bash, lagi na lang may negativity na parang we know better. So you know what I mean. So we have to affirm the good in your partner. Na thank you that I really appreciate what you do. I really like it that you're telling me this. I really like it that you are doing something for us. So there you go. That's we have to affirm, because when we affirm, we see the good, and it boosts the morale, or it boosts the confidence of our partner. And I think that it can work also for teenagers. So yes, they have a different world altogether, and we have to understand that. We have to understand that they are in the process of becoming who they are. So that's becoming different. But this one will work for any relationship. Take time to listen. Really listen. Minsan ayaw nila magsalita, you just assure them that you are there. I'm also raising teenagers. So, parang minsan parang, yan lang nangyari sa'yo? Hindi ka na magkikwento? Yan lang? Yes, yun lang. Because that's just how they things are. But if they are naman in the mood to kwento, they would kwento if they're interested or they would like to share. So, take time to listen, to really listen. I remember a statement from some of my students when I was a full-time guidance counselor. Favorite ko yung statement that I heard from the young kids. And then they said that, Miss, whenever naman our moms would talk to us, they don't really listen naman talaga eh. They just capture whatever they like to hear. So, syempre, parang ako, now that I'm a mother, I have to be cautious that I don't fall into the trap. So, take time to really listen, because sometimes we tend to jump into conclusion right away. We tend to jump into a particular judgment. So, uh, and that's why when we say we listen without judgment, we listen without comment, we listen for the sake of really listening, because we have to listen to understand, to fully understand and to fully gauge what's happening to us. So listen to understand, and you have to listen without any judgment. So that's the third actually. First, affirm the good in your partner. The second, take time to listen. The third, listen to understand without judgment. Eto friends, for the parents here or for those who are married, do you listen without judgment? Yung nakinig lang kayo at hindi kayo nag-comment at all sa sinabi ng partner nyo, sa sinabi ng kapamilya nyo. Did that happen? Yes, we are open, but did you listen without judgment? You did not comment, oh really? That happened? Oh, so how was it? So, nagkasabi na ng isang critical incident na tayo parang gusto na natin mataranta, oh my God, that's what's happening. And then we would like to, why did you do that? So if we actually hear that we are listening, but not actually intentional sometimes. Tama ba? Paano I turn around if hindi na nakikinig? Not applicable to me. If I turn around at hindi na nakikinig, well, that may be painful for us, but that's no longer your choice. We cannot control that anymore because that's the other person's choice already, right, Jen? So, you have to really learn. Ito ang pinaka-critical for parents. We have to listen, to understand, and to listen without judgment. Parents, pag nagkwento ang anak nyo, natin, kaya ba natin to zip our mouths? Answer me. Ayan, Abby, haha, guilty. Minsan nakikinig pero nag-iisip na ng sasabihin. Yes, that's exactly that. That exactly what I'm saying here. Listen to understand, not to comment or not to judge, because we are seeing things differently the way our children or maybe even our partner experienced it. Make sense? Iba yung pagkakaintindi, iba yung dating sa kanila iba from how what we're actually thinking, because I remember again my students, they said that, Miss, sometimes we just only would like to share with our parents what's happening to us. It took us guts to tell them, but we don't really would like them to put solutions or comments. Kaya wag tayong magtaka kung bakit ayaw minsan nag-open ng ating mga teenagers sa atin, kasi ayaw nila na may sasabihin na naman si mommy. Ako, challenge din sa akin yan. Because of my work, my kids feel that parang, mommy, you know it eh. Mommy, parang, kasi ganyan ka. Yeah, so sabi ko, no, but I'm your mom here. Always, even though that I know things, uh, you have to really realize na I am still your mother. Ayan, ang bilis mag-isip tapos yung iniisip gusto sabihin, ending hindi nakinig. Yes, the tone of the voice matters, but actually it's the intent na, oh, okay, so how it is to you? So minsan, even with our partners, we need to do that. We need to really listen without judgment. Kaya minsan, para kaming bata ng husband ko, and then sasabihin niya na parang, wait lang, ako muna. I will speak first. So I have to really call that, tell that, siya rin ganyan, na parang, wait, wag ka muna mag-comment, ako muna, sandali, listen to me first. So I think we have to do double with our kids and with our even family members, diba? Lalo na kung nakasanayin sa pamilya na naghihiritan at alam niyo yun, yung parang lahat na lang may komento yung pamilya mo, yun yung mahirap. Kung may culture na ganun, but hindi naman talaga nag-uusap. Lucille, when I attend the doctor's talk, I let my 16-year-old listen with me to also make her understand me that I'm not perfect so she can be more open. It's a lot better to talk to my teen than my husband. Totoo yun, kasi anak natin yan. 21 years together, hirap pa din because he grew from a family, syempre, so I had to raise my daughter differently. Yes, because you have to realize that our husbands grew up differently from us. This is my favorite term regarding couple communication or couple relationship, the differences. Iba yung puno na pinanggalingan nila at iba yung puno na pinanggalingan natin. Kaya we are trying to put a santol and a mangga together and trying to make the most kung ano lasa ng santol at mangga in a family. That's the thing there. So, you have to reflect about that. Kaya mas madaling i-train ang ating mga anak. Kasi tayo na yun eh. May kadugo na natin sila. Yung husband natin, hindi natin kadugo yun. Kaya mas mahirap. Okay, let's affirm the next time. Listen, really listen. And the third, listen without judgment. And the fourth, I think I'll end with the fourth. Be assertive to share your feelings. This is something that really we don't really look into, is that we need to be assertive about our feelings. We share our feelings. It's really, that is why when we start sharing our feelings, that's where intimacy comes in. Because feelings are uniquely ours. It's very personal to us. Sometimes we just share facts. Do you know there's such thing? I think this is something I discussed in my book, Family Goals. There's such thing as depth in communication. Some just share the superficial level, kung ano nangyari, kung anong meron, anong nabasa sa social media, anong nasa news, anong nangyari sa kapitbahay. Ito yung mga parang mga marites na parang chismis lang around. Anong nangyayari around. Well, that's okay if it's just small talk for people around us. But if in the family, that's your usual mode of communication, how can we resolve conflicts if it's just like very superficial and very functional communication? Because communication have to have a deeper level, and we call it, so that's the first area. So that is disclosing, you're sharing just mababaw matters, or maybe facts and matters outside you. But when we start talking about a relationship, parang, ma, I felt offended when you did this. Parang, my love, I hope that you can spend time with me tomorrow. Then that is when we can start disclosing our feelings. Parang, I really felt that I would like to spend time with you because I feel that you're very busy for me. So hindi niya pwedeng hindi ako busy sa'yo. Pwede kasi niyang pwedeng i-defend yung ibang tao na, but I'm not too busy for you. But it's actually how we're feeling. And when we say that, yes, but this is how I feel I'm overlooked. I feel sad because I miss you. So that is exactly expressing the feelings there. We're not allowing the feelings to rule us, but we're communicating it in such a way that we get our needs expressed. I have another episode on assertiveness, assertive, not aggressive. You can go back to it because this is exactly why we need to share. Michelle, you said earlier that you do, what do you call that? Sasabihin ko, social distancing, silent treatment. Parang ganun din, social distancing in communication. Yes, it can work kung hindi kayo mag-asawa. But kung mag-asawa kayo, you have to really share and assert, this is really because how I feel. Or maybe, I need space right now. Can I just be by myself? Because I really need to sort things out because I'm not feeling okay. That's another thing. That's another way to assert. You are sharing yourself. You are sharing your fears even. So when we communicate, let's check if it's just facts or and then let's check, are there emotions involved that we share? Because when we start disclosing about emotions, then we start disclosing about ourselves because emotions are uniquely ours. And nobody can take that away from us. We can say that I feel loved, I am frustrated, I am irritated, I am angry. So, pwede po bang i-silent treatment our kids? Hindi siya fair. For me, hindi siya fair because kids yan eh. Maybe you need to be the one to be silent kasi ikaw yung naiinis. Ito, let's be honest for parents. You don't silent treat your kids. Kasi yan yung dynamics na makikita nila. Pero pag puno na tayo, you just tell them that mommy needs to be away for a while ha because I just need to cool off my head. That's it. So they will not be involved with you para hindi kayo magkakasakitan. Silent treatment to them, if it's just for a while and the goal is to cool the head, yes. But it's not, silent treatment will never be a solution to a problem because if you start doing it to them when they are kids, how will they grow up? Imagine that. You're not making them grow up. You're not teaching them the right conflict resolution skills. The conflict resolution skills will only happen if there is good communication. As my one of the as a family therapist in the name of David Olson said, communication it's like the grease that smoothens friction in relationships. Communication it's like the grease, the grasa that smoothens friction in relationships. The better the communication, the better the relationships. 'Di ba? Tama naman. So, paano kapag may anxiety? Kasi po may anxiety friend ko and silent treatment niya kapag may masamang nangyari. Iba kasi yung silent treatment, friends. Minsan, akala natin silent treatment, pero hindi naman yan yung way lang nila to deal with the situation. It's a temporary solution. I will park the silent treatment because that's not our focus ha. Silent treatment is a temporary solution just to clear off the head. But if the head is clear already or the emotions have cooled down, there should be a conscious intent to communicate because you would like to share, you would like to connect with the other person, you would like to share with the other person that this is what you're going through, I need help, I need you to understand me, I need you to pray for me, I need you to walk with me with what I'm going through. I'm afraid, I'm anxious, I'm angry, I'm frustrated. I need you in my life. That's the goal, friends. You know what I mean? You can just have that silent treatment or social distancing, if we can call it like that, as a temporary, short term. But if it's going to be the automatic mode of conflict resolution, and then how can you be closer? You cannot tell yourselves and you cannot call it a very close and healthy relationships, a very loving, very close, intimate, and loving relationship if there's no communication. Because, as I said, communicate to be intimate. Communicating, as I said, why are we communicating? We would like to better understand each other. We would like to work out differences. We want to be closer, more intimate, and we would like to show support and concern to our partners, to our kids, to our loved ones. So, if there's no communication, how can the relationship be healthy? Try to think about that. Those are the things that I would leave you with. I would be opening the floor for questions. If I cannot answer your question now, please put here in the comment your questions and I will get back to them on Thursday for the continuation of our topic, Communicate to be Intimate. I hope you join me again on Thursday. And if you would like to support the work that I do here in Coffee Break, you may send Facebook stars. Um, Facebook stars are a way to show support in the live streams that I do here in Coffee Break. So either you send Facebook stars, or if you're interested, you can send your support through Gcash. Just shoot me an email or shoot me a message here in Facebook to be able to get to know the details. So that it's about Coffee Break for this afternoon. I hope you join me next Thursday. And I would like to thank all the friends here who attended the Feast conference last weekend. It was a very successful, grace-filled conference. So I hope that you join me again, and I hope this is helpful for you. If it's helpful, share with family and friends. Talk about it with your loved ones. Talk about it with your partner. Talk about it with your big kids. And I hope that you keep supporting Coffee Break with Dr. Michelle. God bless everyone. Communicate better.